Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch, 28th of November until December 2nd. Now, there's not a whole lot this week, I'm guessing due to Thanksgiving in North America and Europe not being arsed. I don't know, but Japan, they still know what's up. Holidays aren't getting in the way of goodness for them. And also, no face cam this week, just because I'm super busy preparing for the December period. I've got so many video projects on the go, I need to save as much time as possible. Now, this week, Astronite is releasing physically. This is a monochrome platforming action game that's almost exactly Gato Roboto. I think it's definitely taken a few hints from that game. Anyways, it looks fairly competent enough, and this physical kinda came out of nowhere. I don't remember it being mentioned anywhere before this week's release, so it's a mild surprise, like finding there's still one biscuit left in the tin when you thought you'd eaten all of them the night before. Not mind-blowing, but enough to please you for a few seconds. And our executive producer Grantzer has chosen this as his pick of the week. And by the way, the Christmas period is coming up. It's time to buy some gifts for your loved ones, and what a better gift than a video game. I'm sure your nan will love Galgun Double Piece. So yeah, if you need some Christmas gifts, then consider using Video Games Plus via the links in the description. You can buy your dad Bassmaster Fishing, buy your mom Just Dance, and support us at the same time. All the games in this episode are listed in the description, but if you click one of them and buy something completely different, it also supports us. It's really clever like that. And every week, we give away a $10 discount to one person who bought something the week before. And this week's winner is Hudo H. Congratulations! The code should be in your emails later today. LoverPretend is the last big otome on the Switch this year, another one from Axis Games. Hopefully it's better than Paradigm Paradox, which was mildly disappointing, but it doesn't matter what I say about this, that ain't gonna stop otome fans from picking it up. I do wonder how Axis can top 2022 next year. How many otomes can there be? We should have a review for this over on VM Paradise later this week. It just depends on how much work I can get done on the million other projects I'm working on. And our executive producer Jennifer M has chosen this as her pick of the week. The Cube video game, I think, is an EU exclusive to Amazon. This is published by Funbox Media and is based off a TV game show that I've never heard of because I'm culturally separated from the UK. And I read that it's presented by Philip Schofield, which means I'm happy to be culturally separated. That dude is like a bad rash. He's too nice. Dungeon Munchies is getting a retail release in North America. This was once an import exclusive to Japan and Asia, but Serenity Forge thought that they could do with a North American release, and not only that, but there's also a collector's edition as well. I've talked about this a lot over the past year or two, but basically you fight monsters and then cook them. It's not the best game ever, at least critically, but I know some people that like it. And a quick mention to Outbound Ghost, which was pushed back to this week rather than last week, a Paper Mario RPG style game. Now, before we get into the low prints, an update on your game of the year. The nominations are now in. I've counted them and inputted them into the survey, and now it's time to start the real voting. Yeah, everyone and their nan is going to be voting, so it's all to play for. And just a disclaimer, if you don't see your nominations in there, it's because you didn't follow the rules. At least 20 people nominated Tactics Ogre Reborn, which, I would have allowed in. If it was 2010, it's a PSP game of a remake of a Super Nintendo game. Come on. So yeah, I may be harsh, but I wanted this to be kind of legit as possible, okay? I mean, that game's been tweaked a little, but it's essentially the exact same game. So yeah, there is a link in the description to the survey, and you can vote for up to 5 games, and that will be open until next Sunday, at which point I better start writing and editing. Maybe you'll see the video in a couple of weeks' time. Alright, VirtuaVerse is one of 3 limited run physical releases this week. This is a cyberpunk themed point and click game that looks really good. I don't know how I've never heard of this one before, but the art style is just phenomenal. Future Neon just looks so good in pixel art. I mean, the main character looks a bit like an edgelord with their hood up all the time, but you can't be perfect, unless you're Mila Jovovich, of course. It has a meaty story, difficult puzzles, and a great soundtrack, so thumbs up all round. You can pre-order this on the 29th. And our executive producers Viz and Precision Plague have chosen this as their pick of the week. Atari Recharge Collection Volume 1 is their second release this week, and you can pre-order it already if you want to. This collection rather generously contains 2 whole games in the Recharge series from Atari, Asteroids and Breakout, 2 fine enough classic arcades, reborn with fancy new art and gameplay tweaks. I've heard rather good things about these re-releases, this series, so I'm not down on the idea of them being physical or anything, except for the fact there's only 2 games, and 2 more are on Atari Recharge Collection Volume 2, which contains Centipede and Black Widow. Yeah, why 4 games needed to be separated over 2 releases is a question only limited runs accountants know the answer to. I can't possibly think of why these small, cheapish games needed to be separated. Oh look, you can buy both volumes together in a double pack, which for some reason costs 1 cent more than buying them separately, because who needs logic? And sure, that does come with a slipcover that will take 6 months extra to manufacture, but what happens when they do Volume 3? Because the eShop already has Yar's Revenge Recharged, Gravitar Recharged, and even Missile Command. I mean, they must be planning a Volume 3, and maybe even 4, because nobody in this universe would choose Black Widow over Yar's to be part of a package. It doesn't really make sense. That slipcover is going to be useless in like a year. And our executive producer Jonathan Rumo has chosen this as his pick of the week. Alright, we're heading into the imports, we're heading into Play Asia territory. Yeah, if you want to import any of the games shown here, then please consider using our Play Asia links below in the description and pinned comment. Play Asia is always the #1 way to support us. They've supported us for many years, and we would not exist without Play Asia. So yes, thank you. And if you click our links and purchase something, you can also get 5% off anything with our current discount code SWTV5. That's going to run out at the end of December. This week, oh, it's a good week. It's a vintage week, one may say. And even one of them's not even sure, but yeah, I'm still very excited. Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered is one that might be releasing this week, maybe not. Play Asia say it's early next year, but other sources have stated it's December 1st, which is the same day as the digital release. Anyways, I'll talk about it now just in case. This is a Square Enix JRPG from the PS2, a remake of a Super Famicom game, the first game in the Romancing Saga franchise. We have pretty much all of them on the Switch, and this was the one that was missing. A rather misunderstood game for the time because, like the rest of the series, it does things quite differently. A non-linear JRPG where there are 8 protagonists, and it's less about the story, but more about the adventure towards the end goal. I'm very much excited about this one, and I'm sure you'll see why in my review later this week. This is only available physically in Asia, but does have English. Oh yes, I can't wait. One of the best imports, saving for the end of the year, or early next year depending on when the actual date is. And our executive producers Parsnip Coffee and Robotech have chosen this as their pick of the week, if it releases this week. Samurai Maiden is a game I'm massively looking forward to. Not that I'm expecting it to be a great game, but when you've got samurai schoolgirls, quality isn't exactly necessary. But we'll have to see. I do plan on reviewing this if I have the time. As I said, I've got a lot of stuff going on. But if there is a game I can make time for, it is this one. A modern day schoolgirl finds her way into the Sengoku period and ends up going blade to blade with Nobunaga Oda. This can only be a win. Both the Japanese and Asian releases have English for this one, so yeah, may the schlock be with you. And our executive producers Instacritic, Cartoon Soren and Thor Metaluna have chosen this as their pick of the week. River City Girls 1 and 2 is a double pack releasing in Japan this week with English, and it's going to be one of the most essential imports of the year because it just makes Limited Run look like chumps. Limited Run had pre-orders up for River City Girls 2 by itself for $40. Well, this Japanese version, which has River City Girls 1 and 2 together, is cheaper than that. If you factor in free shipping, over $100, and our discount code, it only makes sense to purchase this bundle. And I wouldn't be surprised if this came with some like pre-order bonuses as well. That's not a given, but we know how Japan can be really generous with that. So yeah, you might as well grab this. But if you already own River City Girls 1, the Asian release, and you prefer some continuity, Hong Kong is also getting a River City Girls 2 release by itself, not in a double pack. And of course, it's much cheaper than Limited Run. River City Girls 2 looks to be another amazing beat-em-up part of the revival for the genre, and I'm sure a lot of people can't wait for this one. And our executive producers Vey, God of Resin, Issa and Elissa have chosen this as their pick of the week. Let's Play Oink Games is not a particularly enticing import exclusive with English. I think even the hardcore importers will struggle with the enthusiasm to import this bunch of board games. Maybe that's just my bias against board games, I don't know, but I'm not convinced it's going to be imported by anyone, even though it is an import exclusive with English. Windstorm the Collection is a double pack of the Windstorm games that are already out in the West, but this is both games together on one cartridge if you fancy saving shelf space. I know the Western versions were hard to come by at one point, but I think that's eased up now, so yeah, it's a mild alternative option. And in Japan, well, they've got a lot of stuff coming. Here they are. Most of them don't have English, some of them do. None of them are exactly essential. If you missed the Capcom Belt Action Collection, well, now there's a cheaper one available, so yeah, go for that one instead. Why not? Now, there's no community spotlight this week because, as I said, I'm busy, but I do want to show off something really awesome to you. We're usually about physical games, cartridges, but how about manuals? Yeah, Nintendo don't do this anymore, but I've been sent these 3 amazing fan-made manuals from MBP UK, also known as Rowan over on Twitter. I tell you what, these are fantastic. Obviously, I'm a little bit behind on my Nintendo first-party titles, so I had to get some of the older releases, but he's done quite a few new ones like Pokemon Legends Arceus, the new Kirby game, Skyward Sword, but I'm in money-saving mode, so I had to pick up some older ones. Luigi's Mansion 3, one of my favorite games on the Switch, Mario 3D All-Stars, and Link's Awakening. These are just amazing. So much love and effort put into each of them. These are even better than manuals you used to find back in the day. I love my manuals, but these have been made by someone with passion rather than an intern. The paper quality and printing is way better than I ever expected, and I thought they would be mostly just like a nice fluff collector's thing, but genuinely I think they will be useful. They are full color, full of art and images, and very useful information. There are even checklists for collectibles, which is great. When I eventually buy Skyward Sword, I'm definitely going to be buying the manual alongside it because it's the perfect companion piece and they fit well and truly snugly in the cases. And if you want to check out more of this stuff, then I've put links in the description to where you can buy them. He was having a Black Friday sale, which was due to end on Monday, like today, and although he couldn't extend it, he could offer a discount coupon for you guys. So yes, if you use our coupon SWATCH, you can save 20% off each manual. Go check him out over on Twitter. Check out his web stores. He has a couple of different places you can buy. Etsy's probably the most famous one, but if you want to support him more and also get it a little bit cheaper anyways, there's his website. Go check them out. They really are way better than I ever imagined. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Get Physical. Special thanks to our executive producers as always, Dane Wilkinson, Goddard Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Elissa, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Z, Raven Knights, Thorn, Metal Luna, Parsnip, Coffee, Issa, Vey, Mental Traveler, Grantsert, Viz, Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Katacha, and Ozgolo. Plus you. Yeah, you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, then leave me, what do we got? Do we have a Samurai Maiden emoji? Probably not. Maybe there's a samurai emoji. Is there? There's a ninja one, so there must be a samurai. And if there's not, that's controversy. And if there is not a samurai, then leave me a fist emoji, like a fist, any fist emoji in honor of River City Girls 2. Yeah, it's going to be beating some boys up. Don't forget to vote for your Game of the Year and be sure to check out some of our other stuff, and especially these coming next 2 weeks. They're going to be packed with content from me, and I hope you can be there to watch them because ad revenue is quite high in December, so it helps me quite a lot. Okay, have a good one.